Hi guys, it's literally like 4 a.m., but I felt like being a niche micro-influencer. So today we're going to talk about how I got into Berkeley Haas GMP. So if you didn't know, my major is technically business administration with a concentration in global management, which sounds like a bunch of word salad, but what it basically means is international business. So the funny thing is, when I applied, I actually had no idea what the program was or even the reputation and prestige that the Haas School of Business had. So I honestly just kind of did a very quick Google search and thought, sure, why not? And I applied just to apply. I didn't really have very high hopes because according to the Google search, Haas has about a 4% acceptance rate. And if you don't know, that's like Stanford levels acceptance rate. So that's also Stanford level scary. And what I also didn't know at the time was that GMP, the program that I got into, is very selective. Later I found out that the global management program only accepts about 50 out of 4,500 people each year. And if you want to do the math, that's 0.8% acceptance rate.
On the sheet. If 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay. What the fuck is this?
So yeah, somehow the program that I applied to on a whim ended up being one of the most competitive programs in the entire university. Like the girl got in, so I really wanted to talk about the things that I felt really helped my story and got me accepted into GMP, I suppose. Now, I won't go too in-depth into my PIQs because then this video would be a million years long, but I do want to talk about what I felt really helped convey my story. And before anybody asks, my credentials is that I got into every school that I applied to except for waitlisted at one, which is UCLA. But looking back, I don't think that there was a magical extracurricular or award that got me in. I think that what helped was that my application felt very cohesive and that it really conveyed one whole story. I made sure that with my writing, I connected it back to who I was, like every single PIQ, every single supplemental, connected it back to who I was, the core part of my identity, and why I wanted to go into business. And a lot of people kind of approach college applications like trying to sound impressive. Like, I kind of did the opposite, really. Like, instead of focusing on my achievements, I tried to focus on telling a story that only I could tell. And a lot of my stories weren't really focused on the situation or experience itself, but the lessons that I learned from them and how I grew from them. Like, a lot of students, when they approach college applications, they make the mistake of just focusing on how they struggled through this one certain difficulty, but they don't really talk about how they grew or what they took from that. They barely want to see you learn. And I wanted the admissions officers to finish reading my application like they learned about me as a person, not just reading off of a resume, And I can't stress this enough, the writing factor it's such a big part of your application. Like, it doesn't matter how many awards, extracurriculars you have, your writing is such a great opportunity to show who you are and your identity and your core as a person. And like, I didn't cure cancer, solve world hunger, or start a nonprofit like I felt like some other kids at my school did, or have some crazy startup. My background was sort of honestly pretty normal. I mean, I took a few community college classes. I took like only 4 IPs. Some people take like 11, and I didn't even submit my SAT scores. And there's nothing wrong with being very ambitious. There's definitely students who are like that and have those kinds of accomplishments. But what I learned throughout the application process, especially for Berkeley, is that they aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for people and individualism. They want to see your perspective and the impact that you've already made in your community. And most importantly, they want to see your potential and the person you'll become at Berkeley once you're given the opportunity, of course. So at the end of the day, just remember that colleges aren't admitting a resume. They're looking for a human being.